Autumn is in, colored leaves falling within. Yellow and brown is most we see. Green and red are beyond the sea. What's your thought in this dry weather? Dusty winds, grounds covered with fronds and petals. Season strokes, color, Mother Nature. A collection of snaps is all we can treasure. After getting this quick weather glimpse, let's get to know the topic of the day. Today's conversation is gonna be all about nicotinic receptors. Welcome all to Is Pharmacology Difficult podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Radhika Vijay, MBBS MD Pharmacology, and this is the audio hub to get the best simplified basic tips, strategies, methods, and lots of ideas to learn better, understand better, and make your concepts crystal clear. If you really find, and if there's a question hovering in your minds, is pharmacology difficult? Lend me your ears for a while and let in the magic of knowledge. Without any delay, coming over to the nicotinic receptors, they are selectively stimulated by nicotine, as their name suggests. Location is inevitable point. Hence, let's get to know about it. They are found on the neuromuscular junction and all the autonomic ganglia. Also, in the adrenal medulla. In brain, their site is presynaptic, where they aid in release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and glutamate, etc. At all these three sites, a certain degree of molecular heterogeneity is observed amongst the nicotinic receptors. As far as the structure is concerned, they are in the form of a rosette, pentameric shape. Now, in the center of the rosette is enclosed a ligand-gated channel. This ligand-gated channel, once activated, it opens and lets in the flow of cations. Then depolarization and subsequent action potential ensues. Now, we can identify two important nicotinic receptors, and the basis of their differentiation is the criteria of location, agonists, antagonists, etc. Let's get to know more in this direction. Now, these are Nm receptors, capital Nn receptors, and central nicotinic receptors. Let's get to know first about the Nm receptors. Mind it, the M is in subscript. These are the muscle type of receptors, and the M is placed in the subscript. They are found at the end plate of skeletal muscles, and they are postsynaptic in nature. Their function is to mediate the contraction of the skeletal muscles. The transducer mechanism involves the opening of the cation channels, especially the cations involved are sodium and potassium. Let's get to know about the agonists. The selective agonists for the Nm type of receptors are phenyl trimethyl ammonium, that is abbreviated as capital PTMA. And other agonists to account for are acetylcholine, nicotine, and succinylcholine. Let's get to know about the blockers also. For this type of Nm receptors, the blockers are dextrotubocurarine and alpha-bungarotoxin. These are the most important points and features about the Nm type of receptors. The other type of nicotinic receptors are capital Nn type of receptors. Again, the second N is in the subscript. First of all, to start with, let's get to know their location. The site is at all the autonomic ganglionic cells. I mean both sympathetic and parasympathetic autonomic ganglionic cells. They're also found on adrenal medulla. Now, for your kind information, I want to tell you that adrenal medulla shares the same origin embryologically as that of the ganglionic cells. Okay? And the other areas where these N type of receptors they are located are the areas of brain and spinal cord. Now they are also postsynaptically located. The primary role of Nn type of receptors is to constitute transmission of the impulses via autonomic ganglia, and they are also involved in the firing of the neurons situated postganglionically. They are also involved in the secretion of epinephrine and norepinephrine from the medulla. The transducer mechanism consists of the opening of the cation channels. Here the cations involved are sodium, potassium and calcium. Now let's get to know about the selective agonists. They are dimethylphenylpiperazinium, which is abbreviated as capital DMPP. Other agonists, they are nicotine and epibetadine. Now, epibetadine is derived from the South American frog dermis. Now, what are the blockers of Nn type of receptors? To account for, I have hexamethonium and trimethophan. These are the blockers of the Nn type of receptors. Now, with the swift and expeditious oeuvre of nicotinic receptors, I have given the game away all about the acetylcholine receptors, both muscarinic and nicotinic. Abutting today's talk will be the actions of the acetylcholine via these receptors, that is, via the muscarinic and the nicotinic receptors. For all the updates and latest episodes of my podcast, do visit www.ispharmacologydifficult.com, where you can also sign up for a free monthly e-newsletter of mine. It actually contains a lot of updates about medical sciences, drug information updates, and my podcast updates also. You can follow me on different social media handles like Twitter, Insta, Facebook, and LinkedIn. They all are with the same name as Pharmacology Difficult. If you are listening for the first time, do subscribe and follow whatever platform you are consuming this episode. Stay tuned. Do rate and review on iTunes, Apple Podcast. Stay safe, stay happy, stay enlightened. Thank you.